Hello everyone. In this session, we will explore how to handle numeric data in Python, which is a fundamental aspect of programming. Numbers in Python are commonly represented using two main types, integers and floating point numbers, also known as floats. Understanding the difference between these two data types is essential for performing calculations and building efficient programs. An integer is a whole number that does not contain a decimal point, such as 10, 100, or -50. In contrast, a float is a number that includes a decimal point, such as 3.14, 0.5, or -2.75. The distinction is important because some operations behave differently depending on whether a number is stored as an integer or a float. To illustrate this, let's create a variable and assign it the value 10. In Python, we can check the data type of a variable using a built-in function called type. If we check the type of this variable, Python confirms that it is an integer. Now, if we change its value to 10.5 and check the type again, Python classifies it as a float. This demonstrates how Python automatically recognizes numbers as either integers or floats based on their format. Why is this distinction important? The distinction between integers and floats affects how Python handles arithmetic operations. Some mathematical functions and programming libraries expect a specific type of numeric input, so understanding this concept helps prevent errors in calculations and data processing. For example, when dividing 5 by 2, Python returns the result as 2.5. In Python version 3, division always produces a floating point result, even if both numbers involved are integers. However, in earlier versions of Python, dividing two whole numbers would return only the integer part of the result, discarding the decimal portion. If we want to ensure that division results in a whole number by removing the decimal part, we can use floor division. Floor division is represented by two forward slashes and always rounds the result down to the nearest whole number. For instance, when performing floor division of 5 divided by 2, Python returns the value 2 because it discards the decimal portion instead of rounding up. Now that we understand the difference between integers and floating point numbers, let's explore the basic arithmetic operations that we can perform with numeric data in Python. These include addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, exponentiation, and modulus operations. The addition operation is represented by the plus symbol. If we add 4 and 3, Python gives us 7. Similarly, subtraction is represented by the minus symbol. If we subtract 3 from 4, Python returns 1. For multiplication, we use the asterisk symbol. When we multiply 4 by 3, the result is 12. For division, we use the forward slash. When dividing 4 by 3, Python returns 1.33. Since Python follows standard mathematical rules, division always returns a float, even if the numbers involved are whole numbers. However, if we need an integer result without any decimal places, we use floor division, which is represented by two forward slashes. When we divide 5 by 2 using floor division, Python gives us 2, because it removes the decimal portion instead of rounding the number. Next, let's talk about exponentiation, which allows us to calculate powers. In Python, this is represented by two asterisks. If we raise 4 to the power of 2, the result is 16. This means we multiply 4 by itself once, giving us the final result. Another useful operation is the modulus, which is represented by the percentage symbol. This operation returns the remainder of a division. For example, when dividing 5 by 2, the remainder is 1, so the modulus operation returns 1. The modulus operator is particularly useful for checking whether a number is even or odd. When we divide any number by 2, there are only two possible remainders, either 0 or 1. If a number divided by 2 has a remainder of 0, it is even. If the remainder is 1, it is odd. For example, when we take 2 modulus 2, the remainder is 0, so 2 is even. When we take 3 modulus 2, the remainder is 1, indicating that 3 is odd. Understanding these basic arithmetic operations is essential for working with numbers in Python. Now that we've covered basic arithmetic operations, let's discuss the order of operations in Python. Just like in regular mathematics, Python follows a set of rules to determine the sequence in which calculations are performed. This follows the PEMDAS rule, which stands for parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. Some people also refer to this as BODMAS, which stands for brackets, orders, division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction, but the concept remains the same. For example, if we multiply 3 by 2 and then add 1, the multiplication happens first, followed by the addition. This gives us 7 as the final result. However, if we change the order by placing parentheses around the addition, Python evaluates what's inside the parentheses first. This means adding 2 and 1 first, resulting in 3, and then multiplying by 3, which gives us a final result of 9. Parentheses are a useful way to control the order in which operations are performed. If a mathematical expression contains multiple operations, Python will evaluate exponents first, followed by multiplication, division, and floor division, and finally, addition and subtraction. Let's look at another example. If we take 4 plus 2 multiplied by 3, the multiplication occurs first, so 2 times 3 results in 6, and then 4 is added, giving a final result of 10. However, if we place parentheses around the addition happens first, making 4 plus 2 equals 6, and then multiplying by 3 results in 18. Using parentheses strategically can make complex expressions easier to read and ensure they are calculated in the correct order. This is especially useful in programming when dealing with equations or financial calculations where accuracy is important. Incrementing and updating variables. Another common operation in Python is incrementing or updating a variable's value. Suppose we have a variable that stores a number, and we want to increase its value by 1. One way to do this is by reassigning the variable to its original value plus 1. However, Python provides a shortcut for this operation. Instead of rewriting the entire expression, we can use a special shorthand called augmented assignment. For example, if we have a number set to 1 and want to increase it by 1, we can use the plus equals notation, which automatically updates the value. This method works with other operations as well. If we want to double a number, we can use the multiplication equals notation, which multiplies the existing value by a given number and stores the result in the same variable. These shorthand operations make code cleaner and easier to read, especially when working with loops or repeatedly modifying values. In the next section, we'll discuss useful built-in functions that help us manipulate numeric data, such as absolute values, rounding, and type conversions. Now that we've covered arithmetic operations and the order of execution, let's explore some built-in functions in Python that make working with numbers easier. These functions allow us to manipulate and analyze numeric data efficiently. One commonly used function is absolute value, which is represented by the abs function. The absolute value of a number is its distance from 0, regardless of whether it is positive or negative. For example, the absolute value of negative 10 is 10. If we apply the absolute value function to a negative number, Python removes the negative sign and returns the positive equivalent. Another important function is rounding, which allows us to round numbers to the nearest whole number. By default, Python rounds floating point numbers to the closest integer. For example, if we round 4.75, Python returns 5, since it is closer to 5 than 4. If the number is exactly halfway between two integers, Python rounds to the nearest even number. For instance, rounding 2.5 results in 2, while rounding 3.5 results in 4. We can also specify how many decimal places we want to keep by providing an additional argument to the rounding function. For example, if we round 4.678 to 2 decimal places, Python returns 4.68. This is particularly useful in financial calculations where precision is important, comparing numbers and Boolean values. In programming, we often need to compare numbers to determine whether they are equal, greater than, or less than each other. Python provides comparison operators to perform these checks. When comparing two numbers, Python returns a Boolean value which is either true or false. For instance, If we check whether 5 is equal to 5, Python returns true because the two numbers are the same. If we check whether 5 is equal to 4, Python returns false since the numbers are different. To check if two numbers are not equal, we use an exclamation mark followed by an equal sign. If we check whether 5 is not equal to 4, Python returns true because the numbers are indeed different. We can also check if one number is greater than or less than another. If we check whether 5 is greater than 3, Python returns true, but if we check whether 5 is less than 3, Python returns false. Additionally, we can check if a number is greater than or equal to another by using a greater than sign followed by an equal sign. The same applies to checking if a number is less than or equal to another. Converting strings to numbers. Sometimes, numbers are stored as strings instead of actual numeric values. This happens when data is read from text files or received from a website. If we try to perform mathematical operations on such values, Python treats them as text instead of numbers. When adding two numeric strings, Python does not perform addition, but instead joins the two strings together. For example, if we have the number 100 stored as a string and another string with 200, adding them together results in 100-200 instead of 300. This happens because Python treats them as text instead of numbers. To fix this issue, we need to convert the string representation of a number into an actual integer or float. This process is called typecasting. In Python, we can convert a string to an integer by wrapping it inside the int function. Once converted, mathematical operations work as expected. For example, after converting 100 and 200 from strings to integers, adding them together correctly results in 300. Wrapping up. By now, you should have a solid understanding of how to work with numbers in Python, perform arithmetic operations, control execution order, and use built-in functions like absolute value, rounding, and type conversions. These concepts are fundamental for any programming task that involves numeric data.